how you can view market structure, you know. So this is EJ, your EJ. Like I was asking, if you have noticed anything, EJ is not like a pair that I look at or I trade or something. It's not like maybe I cannot trade it or something. It's just like I have other pairs that I'm looking at. So, why would I even be looking at EJ when I'm looking at GJ or something like this? So that is the only reason why I don't really pay so much attention on EJ or something. Of course, the setup are like similar, they move similar, something like that. So, but that is for that. So we are talking about market structure today, right? So
Yeah.
how do you view market structure? You know, we are not talking about like the obvious swing and the obvious, pull back as well. Then, another swing, something like this. Those are big. It's very easy for you to understand. Yeah, this is a clean market structure, in the bigger time frame. For example, like something you are seeing right here. Then they pull back. It doesn't matter because we pull back here, then we went on, we also pull back again. But we are still expecting something like this. So you can literally view this kind of uh, market structure very easy, right?
Yes.
Another thing you have to be paying attention to is also the candles. You see all of these candles, those are market structure. They are creating higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low. So they are also market structure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's why you always look for how the candle closes. If it closes like the body of the candle.
Exactly. If
Mm-hmm.
it close below the low, then it's a sign that okay, probably we are changing the direction, something like that. And if you go to the weekly time frame, you can literally see like every line that I marked out, it is from this area, they are what? Swing lows. Even if it's internal from here to here before we broke this high or something. So they are internal. Now, remember
Wait,
what
are
what
you
is what?
recording?
Yes.
Okay.
So remember, what does this market seek?
Liquidity.
Liquidity.
And after seeking liquidity, what else could this market do again?
The
Rebalance.
pullback.
Efficiency.
Rebalance. Mm-hmm.
Inefficiency. Correct. Correct. So now let's first of all just look at this price leg to the upside, right? Look at
Mm-hmm.
this price leg to the upside. You can see there was no inefficiency while we were going higher, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically this market was balanced while trading higher. Right here, what do you see? We use this inefficiency to push price higher. Did you see any inefficiency here? No. So we use this other block to push price higher. Right here, where? Here. Is there any inefficiency? No. So whether you mark all this candle or from here, like this, you use that thing to push price higher. Again, balance. Here we have inefficiency a little bit, but this whole candle cover this inefficiency, which is very good. And like this, then we move price higher. Any inefficiency around here? No. But this didn't pull back all the way. But remember, this candlestick, what is this candlestick?
Liquidity.
This candlestick is what?
Oh.
Is a consolidation.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh.
a balanced market. When market is balanced, what does that mean? It means
Consolidation.
market
Consolidation.
is consolidating.
Yeah.
Whenever
Mm-hmm.
you see a candlestick like this, I'm going to talk a lot about this market. When you see a candlestick like this, in fact, when market consolidates, what is the next thing that market do? Right here, inside bar is a consolidation market, right? Which makes market is balanced. What happens after consolidation? We have expansion. When market consolidates, we expect price to move, right? To expand. It doesn't matter. We cannot control it. It doesn't matter where we are expanding to. It could be the downside or the upside. You look at this candle right here, right? What is this? Consolidation, right? What is this? Expansion. Price came back to this area. Why? Because of this balanced area. Look at this candle right here. What is this? Consolidation. Balanced area. We expect what? Expansion. Where do we expect this expansion to go to? It could be the top side, it could be the downside. But what are you looking at? You will look at the price action that caused price to the upside. Then we have this balanced area. So where could price likely reach to? First, we have two choices. The high of this candle is liquidity, because when market is balanced, we need to see like some, it's consolidation, right? Something could happen like a fake out, which means if market, oh my God, what is it? Which means if this market is balanced within this range, right? Like this. Let's just use this for example. We expect a fake out if we are going to move down, then like this, which is power of 3, then we see continuation to the downside. Something like this. Or if we are going higher, that means we expect a fake out to the downside, right? Which means this low is going to get run, the market will continue going higher. When this low gets run, where did you see the market pull back to? We have a fair value gap right here, tiny one, and also these other blocks, these two candles. Which means this consolidation, we faked the sellers out now, and now price is going for the high. If I delete all of this, let me just remove everything, remove drawing. Let's talk about this area. This is how you get your entry. I hope this area will stay. Now we took that low into this other block right here. If I go to the daily, what is that area? I hope it will show. Oh yeah, right here. If we go to the daily, this is how, remember, this is the high and low of that candlestick, that balance area, and this is the other block. And if you look at this other block, that, because you see it's a lot of candles now, you see, it doesn't really matter. Once price tapped into this area, you want to be looking for entry style. Like I say, you can always take entry from any time frame, but it doesn't matter. Right here, we created this, this area that price moved in. But if we go down to the 4 hour, because we got that area from the weekly time frame, let's go down to the 4 hour. Where is it? Hold on. Where is that area? Right here. So now, I have my session. Even if I have it on, like you will not see like the session anyway. But we can always check like what time the price started moving. So right here, first of all, what do we have right here? We have a high, mini high, and we have this low. The very first time price moved into this area. Remember, this high is where we are going to target later once we get an entry. I mean, we are trading above that high for sure, but like that will be your area which you are going to target for like after you get entry. So we have this high, a low, and we created a high again. We failed to break above this high, but we did have this area which we didn't rebalance instantly. You can see the candlestick was so huge. We didn't rebalance this area instantly. What happened? Price came back. As soon as price come back to this area, you can start looking for entry as well. Again, if you scale down to the lower time frame, remember now, with this price moving back down, we also take this low. Where we are still in this area of this is our point of interest. This is where we are still on, right? So after price has taken this low now, you will start to look for a new, whether minor swing or whatever, that push price into that area to take that low. So in this case, this is the highest point that take that low. right here. From this high, we created another low. Then what happened before this price move and break above this high? This is where you start to look for your entry. As soon as price break above this high now, your entry could be here like this. Which price did it pull back to? It could be here like this. But if you also go down to the lower time frame, I don't know if this thing is going to allow us. Let me see. No, right here. Okay, right here. This right here, first of all, was a valid entry. This one right here. Because this is the first time we came into this area, we created a high, a low, a higher high. This entry was very valid. It was very valid. But, like we always say, it's also good to wait for confirmation sometimes. As soon as price move back into this area, you want to see, for example, this lower time frame that we are on right now, to see if there will be another shift, change of character or something like this. But in this case, we didn't. We were creating high, low, high. Then we created a new low right here. Like I say, this will be my own entry. In this time frame, this will be my entry. But what happened? Did price pull back to this area? No. As soon as we created a new high, after we broke this high, we created a new, because we pulled back into this fair value gap right now and push price higher. We broke this high. Then this is, it's still valid, but for you to catch this trade now, you will now use the new structure that is being created for your entry. Whether from here, this last order block or something, because these three are also other blocks, but it depends on you, how you want to use, like in a situation like this, how you want to enter the trade.
Okay, so hold on. So the line next to the green, yeah, the first time where it broke structure to the top side.
Right
Not
here.
the first time, the second time. The second one in the middle.
This one right
Yes.
here. Yeah.
So this level, would you consider or use this one as an entry level, or that's just basically your confirmation line where you see, okay,
If I
now
want to use this area, I will still choose something like this, right here, which the market
it
didn't
never
retest.
came there
That
yet.
is why I keep speaking about, if you are trading a pair, you have to know where this market always pull back to. Of course,
Yeah.
it could pull back to the other block sometimes, but most of the time, I look at EJ, for example. Let me go back to the daily time frame. Look, this is the daily time frame, for example. Look, those lines are the one we drew out from the lower time frame.
Yeah.
Look, my entry is always the body of a candle, right?
Yeah.
But the fact is that this market pull back to this other block. You cannot deny it. Even if my own, like, I prefer to enter from the body, but the high and the low of this candle is what I shaded out right now. You can see this candlestick pull back to this entry and keep going. So if I were to take this entry, let's say, for example, from the beginning of this thing, let me use 30 pips. I don't know. You see, you never even get stopped out anyway.
Yeah.
It's valid. It's very, very valid. But for the way I trade, I will mark out the body. I'm going to take this entry from the body. But this is a thing I'm always talking about. You guys have to be paying attention to a pair that you trade to see where it where you can literally get your entry from, because you already know where this market is going. For you not to miss this entry,
Yes, that happened to me too. That I noticed that EJ doesn't hit the body; it hits the wicks.
You see,
Or it
on the
goes
wicks,
inside
you
a
get this
balance.
entry, 30 pips stop loss. It didn't even come down to up to like 10 pips either ways.
Yeah.
You can see the maximum drawdown was 9 pips, and you have 30 pips stop loss. This trade, you will take this trade and target this high, because that is what we saw from the higher time frame. Remember, And what happened? As soon as price took out this high, what went up, that is when you see a pullback. Where did the market pull back to again? You have this fair value gap right here. You have this fair value gap right here. What does the market do? We seek liquidity, we rebalance inefficiency. This is EJ.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah,
me,
see,
I'm
and
not
then
going to tell you that this is how EJ move or something. It's up to you to study how this pair move, because you say I'm trading this pair, but you don't really know how know so much about this pair. The reason why you choose to like trade a particular pair is because you want to study that pair. You want to know like what this pair does, which session he move the best, and like when he moves the best or something like this. And if he's pulling back, where does this market like usually pull back to?
Yes.
So going back to the higher time frame where we were right now, like I was saying, even the candlesticks are your structure. The structure we all know is this kind of huge structure, pullback and continuation, something like this. Yeah, of course, it's a structure. This is a bigger picture. So this will tell us where the market will likely move to next, right? But are you just going to take a trade from this area as soon as price get here and like hold it up to this point? No, because price will always be going up and down, up and down. The candlestick will tell you what the price is doing next. So, for example, we have all these down candle, right? Then we have this. What is this?
Balance market.
Balanced area. So, this market has two choices right now. Either to continue going down or goes up. So, what do? You identify these two areas, because as soon as price take out either the low or the high, is probably going to the opposite side, because it's going to be like a fake out then to continue to the opposite side. Right here, what do you have? You also have a fair value gap. So this is basically accumulation. We need an expansion, whether to the downside or to the upside. You don't know. You cannot all you have to do is to look as soon as that market open, see what is going to do next, and you look for your entry. So what will we do? We take out the high, we move into this fair value gap. All you will do now is go down to the lower time frame. For example, this is the 4-hour. Where was the high? Right here. Right here. And we move it to where? Into that fair value gap. And how did we move in there? We have a low. This is also inside bar. I don't know what time in this it could be the daily or something anyway. Then we have expansion again. What do you see? Now price turn around. This was the last area. The last low, and price broke below it. So this now is the confirmation for you that okay, price want to start going down. If you look at the daily, let me see the daily right here. How price moved, we took out the high, we created this bar, inside bar. We have two choices, like I always say. This inside bar, because after you're going to be trading daily, right? So you see, after we took out this the high and moved into this fair value gap, what happened next? The next day, we created inside bar. What is this inside bar? A balanced area, right?
Okay.
So we have two choices. Expansion has to be the next, but what do? You identify the high and the low. What do you see? Market took out the low, and went higher. If I go down to the 1 hour in that area, where is that? Right here. This was the low, right? Yes. And this was the high. This is just the 1 hour, but I don't know if I can go down lower, right? The next day open, we took Asia session what? Took out the low and we moved higher. What can you see here? This consecutive candle right here, all of this became your point of interest. What outside session, then in New York session, we still moved in. This high was what we are going to target. If you go down to the lower time frame, I mean, we don't trade Asia session either ways, but this is just going to give you idea that this price will move higher. But you don't know how much far. You only know that there is inefficiency here, which we already came into, but the price action now is telling you that, okay, price needs to move higher because we took out this low. What happened? A switch, change the market structure, change of character occur right here. So you are now waiting for price to move back into this your point of interest to continue going higher. But how far will this market go? You don't know. Once you start to see, let me see, if you use 30 pips or something, and your risk to reward, this is what, 1 to 5. It's just perfect for you. If you are the person who is targeting 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, you already got your trade, you moved out. As soon as you take your trade, you move out. Even if it takes like 2 days or something to complete, but your trade plays out, then you are out from that trade. Remember, in the higher time frame, that area is a point of interest right here, inefficiency. So we mean if you start to see a sign like a shift in market structure, where is that area? Right here. Then you have to get out from that market. But at the point where you take your entry from here, this high will be your next target because that is where price pull back from. And you can see the candlestick that broke through that high. It went all the way. So in this kind of case, then you are safe. But like I say, if you are the person who use a risk to reward, a fixed risk to reward 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, you are out from this trade even with just this candle alone. And what happened? New York session right here. What do you see? We took out New York session high, and from here you can see probably a shift in market structure occur right here. Then this could be a warning sign to you if you were still holding this trade or something. Okay, probably this market wants to start pulling back down right now because you see we take a high, then we broke this low, a pullback. You can see. So this will just be a warning sign for you to get out from the market if you were still holding. But if you are somebody who use like fixed to reward, like a fixed risk to reward, you are probably out from this trade long term with just this one candlestick.
Yeah, so the red shaded is Asia, yes? So Asia took
Yeah,
out the low
yeah,
of New York. Yeah, and then London right there on the top, yes. London is the pullback.
exactly. Like I say, setup always occur before London or it occur during London. It's like your session which you trade, something like that. It's always like this. So now let's start from the monthly time frame. Look at this market structure. We have the overall high of this pair and we have the overall low right here of this pair. You can see down candle, then this expansion. So you can still see it right here. When price moved higher, creating higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, there was no inefficiency that, okay, maybe this market is going to pull back and continue. Rather, we have this other block right here that price is still dancing within and respecting, right? So we know price may likely seek this high later, because if we pull back to internal range, what do we expect to see? To take out an external range. Where was the last time buyers gave sellers opportunity? Was this one. Then buyer push up. We expect another selling opportunity back into this range to balance this market, to make this market fair. This was an expansion to the upside. We need sellers to push price back to this area so that this market will be balanced, because it takes buyers and sellers for market to be balanced, and market always offer fair prices. Here price pull back, now again we move higher, now price pull back to this area, so we expect a push up, because above this area will now be, buyers chance or something, because right now buyers push this market higher, so seller push it higher, so we expect buyers to also push this market higher. Then as soon as we break that high, as soon as we break this high, now we expect sellers to participate to push this market back to wherever area, that price, because for now this will be the area, this body, for example. It could just come back to this area and, for example, continue going higher. This is how market offer fair prices, because sellers took this market down from here to here. So if buyer take this market back up and break this high, so sellers will take it back to where they started, pushing this market down before, just to balance their price action. So it will be like, like this.
So the gray area that you just shaded and the area where we are now is
this
what,
one,
yeah, sellers have been taking price back down into that order block.
the same, yes. And
Yeah,
they
so
are
that is
respecting
that.
this other block. So first of
Yes,
all,
and then
when they came in here, right? When they came in here, what do you see right here? Inefficiency, right? They move price back to that inefficiency. What do you mean? Because price seeks liquidity, rebalance inefficiency, right? So what do you expect? To push market back down. Not to break this low. It can take out all of this low, but it should respect this low still. Even this low is still being respected. So market is still here, but we expect market to push higher. If I go to the 3-month time frame, this is what you will see. Remember, what is this? Inside bar, right? And what is this? The high of that inside bar and the low of that inside bar. What do we expect?
to take the high.
A consolidation, expansion has to be next. We need to see power of 3, a fake out, then a continuation. You understand?
Yeah, so the fake out is basically what you're saying is it took liquidity from the bottom
we are expecting this price to
Now
go
we're
higher.
taking, yes, now we're expecting it to take.
That is why I told you guys that GJ, EJ, we are going higher. At least we are taking this high. Whether we are coming to take this high now or later, it's none of our business. All we are here for is to make money. It's enough pips. It doesn't matter how much it goes up and down, because this market needs to go up and down, right? So if you just know what this price is doing, that's what matters. Again, you go to the weekly time frame. Now we want to look at the structure. We have this high and this low, right? And we have a pullback into this area, then price break this area and now takes liquidity above this high, right? What are we expecting? Remember, the price action you are seeing here is what? A high, a low, a high, a low, a high. We have this all the way, then we started pulling back down. So what I'm telling you guys now is that in this area, right? I mean, this one like this is like one area, but it doesn't really matter whether you use it as one area or not. So if you use this area as one, right, a break of structure in a higher time frame perspective, remember this whole pullback is just one pullback. It doesn't matter how many dance it has been dancing. It's just one pullback. All we need now is another area like this. Even if it dance now till December, it doesn't matter. But we need another high to be created. You understand? These are just internal price action. But the bigger picture is telling us that we need to take this high and create a new higher high, then probably low, again, a high. Take this one out. This is the bigger picture, but price cannot just move straight away. You understand what I'm saying? Price cannot just move straight away. And if we say price move in waves, we are literally telling you that price needs to complete the movement that it needs to make before you can see probably a price taking out highs or breaking and closing above highs and lows. The 3-month time frame showed us that this is an inside bar. We need to take, in fact, it's not like we need to take, price need to expand now. But how is price going to expand? Either by just expanding straight away or doing a fake out and continue to the other side, which is the intended direction. And if you look at power of 3, if price wants to move higher, that means we need to fake the downside out, right? Before we move higher. If price wants to move lower, that means we need to fake the upside before continue going down.
Yes.
Those two things is what we will always keep in mind. Like I always say, price only do these 4 things. Inside bar, outside bar, bullish continuation or bearish continuation. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
So in this case, what are we expecting? Price to keep going higher right now. Now, what do we have? I want you guys to pay attention to this. Remember, the bigger picture is to create a high, a low, a higher high, right? This is our bigger picture. Now, and this is the 3 months. This is the reason why this price haven't created this higher high, even if we pull back here. Remember, that 3 months was inside bar. You understand what I'm saying now?
Mm-hmm.
So which means January, February, and March has one mission. Either to continue bearishness or to continue bullishness, or power of 3 has to occur. And what happened? We created the power of 3. When did this price take out that low of that 3 months? Right here. After price take out that low of that 3 months, what are you expecting? A shift in market structure to occur for you. And when did it occur? Last week? 2 weeks ago? What do you expect price to do now? First of all, it seeks this liquidity. Second of all, either we are coming to rebalance this inefficiency, or we are coming to this area.
Yeah, a pullback now.
This is now a pullback time to continue. Remember, if we continue and break above this high, you guys know I was talking about this high in GJ, right? Every price action here has been balanced. Where is our next price action? Right here. The last 2 down candle before a break. You understand?
Yes.
Yes.
This is now a shift in market structure for us, according to what we have seen in the higher time frame so far. This is the high. We broke above the high, a low, a high now. Where is your range? Your range is from this high to this low. Take this one out. This is our target. Remember that we need to break and close above in the 3 months. This is our low and our high, our range. Where is your point of interest in this range? 1, 2. Inefficiency, this whole other block. This imbalance, of course, is something, this balanced area, but we have inefficiency and we have this other block before this inefficiency either ways. But price will come like this and probably reject and close above this area and continue going higher. Let's go down to the lower time frame now. Remember the inefficiency from the higher time frame, weekly, other block from the weekly, low and high of your range. So we want to talk about this candlestick. You know what candlestick is this?
Balance.
What?
Is it balance market?
Balanced. Inside bar. You get? What do you expect this price to do? I'm asking you guys now.
From like what price is gonna do from where it's at now?
This is the daily time frame.
Right.
We are also talking about market analysis right now. Your structure, how to,
Okay.
you know.
So what I think it's gonna do is that it could come back and fill that imbalance at the top right there where that order block is at. Right there where more to
Yeah,
the
I
top.
know. Yeah.
That one, yes, and then pull down to where that zone you marked up in that
I
area.
agree.
Okay. It's a good thing, right? Because I want to change all your perspective, how to look at this market now.
Okay.
Now, you've identified that it could come back to this area, right? Before continue going down, right?
Yes.
You are very correct. Very, very correct. But for you, will you just put in mind that price needs to come back here? Or it's just for it's just a suggestion for you. If you will trade this market, what will you be expecting for price to do?
Wait, ask that again?
If you were to trade this market, right? What do you think the price is going to do? Remember, we have already identified where this price is coming, right?
Well, I mean,
From here to here is
it could
100
go
and
down a
something.
little bit,
What?
but it could go down a little bit. I think to that low of that black candle, possibly. But I
Yeah.
still think before it goes to that area, that shaded area at the bottom, yes, that one, it's gonna go up and then come back down.
Okay. So,
Yeah, or
what
can I say
obligation do
something?
you think it has up that is going to make it go up and before it comes back down?
Can I say something?
Yes.
It can also take out the low from those 2 last days,
Mm-hmm.
then go up to then push down.
Okay. So basically, do like this, then like
Mm-hmm.
this before coming
Mm-hmm.
down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. It's not bad. It's also a good idea. So now, price, remember what price can do right now. It could just continue going down, right? Do you know why? Because after a consolidation, we have expansion.
Mm-hmm.
What is this market doing already? Market is creating low, lower highs, lower low before this inside bar now. This is just a pause, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could just continue going down.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we cannot control. But I tell you, before market start going down, right? Let me go back here. Before market start going down, it will always give you a setup. And how do we know our setup is valid?
When it takes out the high
You know,
first.
this is another block, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect price to do when we came to our other block?
Pull back.
Pull back or target this high? What is pull back? Don't you know this market is bullish?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Market is
Yes.
creating a high, a low, a high, a low. What do you expect? A
A
higher high,
high, a higher
right?
high. Mm-hmm.
But there is one thing that you need to watch out for right here.
Hmm.
This is what you need to watch out for. Now, look at, let me go back to the delay, let me show you something real quick. Look at this price action. Look at this price action. Higher time frame. Higher time frame. Look at this price action. When market pull back here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you see market do? It went
Expand.
up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've said I want to show you guys, I want to change your perspective, how you look at market. You see, when price was going higher, it was creating fair value gap all the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's take this one out. Price pull back to this other block. Look at this price action right here. Did you see any fair value gap?
No.
No.
But what happened? Price came back down. What did price created? A fair value gap.
A fair value gap.
This is a sign that this price wants to change face. And what did you see in the daily time frame? Balanced area, balanced
Mm-hmm.
market, accumulation, which means we need an expansion. So a lot of people will be thinking, yeah, of course, it's a good area, it's a good idea, and on a normal day, price is supposed to move back here, to rebalance this inefficiency, then continue going higher and going lower. You understand what I'm saying? But you also need to keep in mind that price can just keep going down. Why? Because it has an objective. What? To this area or to balance this higher time frame inefficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a trader, what can you do is for you to show up in your session, or look at how Asia session traded. That is when you will know if we are coming back here or not. Because some people will be paying attention that we will be coming back here. And that will make you miss the trade that you were supposed to cash to the downside because you were focused on like price is coming back here.
Can you go back down to the 4 hour or where you saw the imbalance on the lower time frame, please?
Is the 4 hour.
4 hour.
You see, this high and low are what? The candle, daily candle. What can we do? Many options. What? Take out this high as a fake out into this inefficiency and what? Continue to the downside, right? While in another case, price has pulled back to inefficiency in the 4 hour, right?
Yeah.
What did you see we created? A balanced area again.
Yeah.
In this 4 hour. So what I'm trying to tell you that price could only take, it can only take out this one and just continue going lower. But we were expecting price to take out this high and come here, but we have already created a kind of setup that you could use maybe like last week to get in this market. This area, if you look at this area very well, let me take out this other block so you guys can see. We created an area right here, right? This area. If we were to seek maybe this high or probably this high, you can see price coming down as market open into this area and probably seek this high or to this area. It could also seek this high because this is the daily area, right? But we are here to catch opportunity. This could be what is going to happen. Session will always create that opportunity for you. Like we have here, if you look at this price action very well from this balanced area, you can see then before we started moving down to break this low right now, for example, or this low. So if you look at this market right here, this is also a possible way to get in this market and trade this market down. That's why I told you guys that this high and this high from the daily, right? This high and this low, price cannot, maybe price is not coming there because even in the 4 hour, price has shown something that it's not going to come here. That is why I also identified the 4 hour balanced area. This one. This could be
and that one's already mitigated, right?
What?
That imbalance has been mitigated.
Has been mitigated, respected. So this might be the liquidity that this price might seek, this high to this area and continue going down.
Okay.
Because in the 1 hour, what do you see? Right here. A low, a high, then we broke this low. 1, 2. Price haven't retested this area. So we created, what is this? A balanced area, form of inside bar in the 4 hour, but it's a balanced area, right? So which means price can only just use this 4 hour area. And
wait, go back to the 4 hour real quick. I want to see something. Okay, now go back to the 1 hour. Okay, I was just trying to see the way you switching time frames. Like on the 4 hour, you can clearly see the imbalance and where market went to, and on the 1 hour, I mean, obviously we have those consolidated candles and stuff.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see how the pair moves, like we were talking about earlier.
You see, it's a consolidation
I have one
now.
question too.
We expect a fake out, then expansion, or just expansion. Yes. What is your question?
So can you stretch? Does it matter because the last two candles, the very last two, no, stretch it bigger
This ones,
from the side. When you tell me stretch it, make it
like this.
and up. Yeah. So the black candle closed, the body closed below the green one. Does that matter? Because
What do
last
you
time you made me tell
What
me
do you mean
today.
candle close below the green? This is the low of the green candle.
Okay, but the body of the
Of
black
We
that
are not
black
candle.
talking
candle.
about the body. We are talking about from it
Yeah,
has to
last time it
close
was.
like this.
Okay. Okay, so and technically the black one is also an inside
This
bar,
is an inside bar,
inside
of course.
candle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is an inside bar.
Mm-hmm.
But we are talking about the 4 hour
Yeah.
in the short candle. You know, this thing is so simple like this. You have already identified something from the higher time frame. This is what you are going to trade along with because this price action now is showing bearish,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because price now started making what? That's why we see a disrespected candle always. A low, higher low, a lower low.
Mm-hmm.
Lower highs, I mean, then lower low. You understand?
Yes.
Then we came into our, what is it? Order block. We created, what is this? A balanced area inside bar, which means price only have what? Choices now, which is either to fake out that high, which as form of liquidity, into where a point of interest, inefficiency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or which we already mitigated this, what is it called? 4 hour fair value gap. It could just continue going down and continue creating lower lows, lower highs that it's supposed to create. It, remember, uh, when I was doing analysis last week with this pair with you, Effie,
Mm-hmm.
I identified this area and this efficiency, which I said price has broken this one. We need to pull back into this area and continue going higher. But
Yeah.
last week, all we did was move higher first to take
Mm-hmm.
out this high before we started pulling back down.
Mm-hmm.
We already know price is coming here and here from what we see.
Yes.
You as a trader, it's up to you to look to where to get entry. So tell me now, let's use last week. Where is last week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sign that tell you that price is coming down here the very first day market open, which is Monday? I
Okay.
already told you about this pair that price needs to pull back to this area, these two areas, here or here.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking for price to pull back to that area. So
Yeah.
your opportunity now is for price to give you a signal for a turnaround, right?
Yes.
But on Monday, did you see it? Let's
No.
identify Monday candle first and go to the 1 hour because this is the daily time frame. So where is Monday? Here. So this is where Monday started from, right? 21 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm talking about how you can basically trade and look at the market. Where did we identify that price is coming? This line and this area, right?
Yes.
So what is your choice? What are you looking for now? A selling opportunity, right?
Yes.
Because that week has closed
Mm-hmm.
already.
Mm-hmm.
So where is your selling opportunity? Monday, you start looking for your selling. This is the 1 hour time frame, in fact. So what can you see Monday? We have Asia session, we have expansion, price trade back into this area. We continue. There is nothing like valuation. What happened? Then we ran down that high, the old high, then what happened was on Tuesday before you see price pull back, right? So now look at this area, the last low that went higher before this price pull back down. Let's see the 4 hour to see how the 4 hour looks. This 4 hour candle was huge. It didn't really do anything. But the 1 hour, let's see. So we're going to use this as a low. When did the price broke below this low? Right here, from here, which is what? Wednesday.
Yeah.
So this is basically one structure down now. So this is a pullback for the continuation downside.
So that's the midweek turnaround. So on the weekly candle, it's
Tuesday
like
created the high,
Yeah.
but Wednesday, that is when we see the distribution. So for you, where can you get your entry from right now? You can literally see that Wednesday, Asia session ran this high. You see, this accumulation phase, we run this high into where? Inefficiency. I always say Asian session can do that. Then what happened? London session distributes to where? To break these lows,
Yes.
giving you a what? A change of character.
Yes.
So now you have choice right here to enter this market. As soon as this price came back here, this is still London session, you can enter off this market.
Yeah.
And what? New York session only came back, what? Just push price higher more, but start falling. Then Thursday, Friday again, before we are here now. Remember, this is from the higher time frame anyway, daily. So now we are here. We know this price is not going higher, like maybe it's coming back all to this high, you know. It's impossible. The least is like here, then continue going down. And we can also see as well that price might not even come all the way high here and just give you a setup. Because we already created, you know, a structure now. We have a high, we can have a pullback and a high. As soon as that pullback because let's just say this is a high now, we have this. What is this? We have a pullback, right? And probably to take out this high, then you see a disrespect of that pullback. Then that is just a sign that market wants to continue going lower. So this high that you even identify is like irrelevant. You understand? So you marking out this daily fair value gap, you are right. But I'm telling you, one price creates a structure like this, only two choices: expansion, or we seek the liquidity like power of 3, then continue to the other side. Once price creates a candle like this, it's very good to trade. If
But
you
isn't
understand.
it okay? So when you just said isn't the expansion also before it expands, it would take the opposite liquidity first? It
No,
would.
not every time.
Okay.
Not every time.
Okay.
That is why I'm telling you that. You see right here, this is the candle. You should not pay so much attention that, yeah, we need to take out the high before going to the downside. No. It's not every time. This is a consolidation market. We can expect expansion directly without seeking the high as a fake out first before expanding. No. We can do that, but it's not every time. That is when it comes down to you as a trader. You have to pay attention so well.
Yeah.
You already know what this price is going to do, and you already know where it's coming, downside. So your opportunity now is looking for sell.
Yeah.
Where do I get in? This sell is what matters. You can literally see when we mitigate this other block, we move higher, then we created a fair value gap. This was not supposed to occur. this was not supposed to occur. This fair value gap means that price wants to turn around.
Wants to push down. Yeah.
As soon as we mitigate this other block, we're supposed to just keep on going higher. Going higher. And if price creates a red candle down, which is normal to create, we were not supposed to create a fair value gap with that candle. Once price creates a fair value gap when it turns around, then it's telling you that we are turning around to the opposite side. That is why this high it's not what I'm really looking at. It could just, of course, price can do that, take the high into this area, but it's not like what I'm putting like, oh yeah, price has to do it. No. For me, I'm looking to sell this market. As soon as price open today, soon, I will be looking for opportunity because Asia session will definitely do something. And if you don't trade Asia, London, of course, then you will see what Asia has done. Then you will just follow the trend.
Yes. Okay.
I'm showing you because you are the one trading EJ. I mean, everybody can trade it. It's opportunity. It's not like something, but yeah. But we're just here to discuss market structure and, of course, how you approach it, because knowing market structure is one thing, but how can you use your market structure? Again, what validates this area, these two areas, is when price broke and closed above this area. That is why this area is validated. And this is market structure now. You can see this candlestick, right? Yes. This, in fact, let me do like this. Let me take out this line. When price traded above this candle, right? It's also validated, but I bet you that price, right, came here to close above this high, But if price were to come down, this is the area where price was seeking. No, it will not be this other block, because with these candles, this is the other block that we have with these two candles. But the mission is to close above this high. Now it will become a change in state of delivery. Now we now expect price to what? Come back to this other block and this inefficiency. So let me tell you another thing you guys don't even know. You see, as far as this candlestick right here, you see, has mitigated this area before, right? 100% that price is seeking this low as liquidity.
Wait. Say that one more time.
You see how this price traded back into this candle?
Yes.
If this price is coming back down, this candlestick, the low will be taken. So which also tells you that what is here? Inefficiency. This low is form of liquidity. Buyer's stop loss.
What makes you so sure to say that? Why
Because
that?
I've seen it thousands of times. I know how this market trades. I've seen it.
Okay, so because that candle mitigated mitigated this particular candle, that low is a liquidity low, a stop loss low. Okay.
So for here, for example, this was validated with this candle, and this candlestick, the first one, traded into this area, right? You can see how this one took out the low before going higher.
Yeah.
Not even to talk about we have inefficiency in that market. It's always like this. We have mitigated this area, right? So this candle, that's when, for you to project where you can literally take your profit from when you get your entry. You understand? We know this inefficiency is a point of interest. This other block is a point. But where are you going to take your profit from? Exactly, this is this line right here, this low. Of course, once it goes below that low, we already tap into the inefficiency, right? But this is your TP. So calculating your pips, you will just target, for example, this low, which is 200 and something pips. Yes. And what is this low? You can see this is how they look here.
Yes, I saw that one too. I agree.
Oh, so you have to see this before you agree.
No, I have it marked on my thing too.
You see,
Because
this is where this market is coming. And going to the 4-hour, I'm not like it's good, but here is where this market is likely to, start to reverse from. And if you look at this area, it's also the 50% of that weekly inefficiency. You see? Where is it? This consecutive candle. Why? Because when we have this whole area, price now broke and closed above this high. Price now, this is the very first time price came down right here to move away, right? Whether from here or from here, because there is something here, right here. You see this green candle, small one, imbalance candle, imbalance candle, these two red, dark black candle before the break of structure occur here. So this is your point of interest. You see,
block. Yeah.
this is when price came here and moved away. Ever since, have we tapped into the area that moved price away?
No.
And this is the place where price moved back down from before we broke that high. So where is it? The 50% of this inefficiency from the what? Weekly time frame. So where are you taking your profit? These lows. This low right here. But of course, if you are that greedy person, you can hold or team here, 80 more pips. It just depends on you, I don't know, but like you can hold in there because that is where price will likely turn around. And remember, turning around, where are we going? To all the way here, and of course, all the way here.
Yeah.
There is plenty of opportunity. That is why you don't even need to stress. Whether last week you traded, it doesn't matter. This week you will always find a trade to trade. Patient traders always win. You might be confused last week because the market was moving somehow you didn't see clearly, but all you needed was to be patient for market to give you that clean direction, that clean opportunity. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
That is all you needed, patience.
Can we do some market structure on a different pair?
Yeah. On what pair? Let's go to US 30. So let's look at US 30 from what? The higher time frame perspective. What does this market do? First of all, let's just talk about this market first. What does the market do?
Balance liquidity.
I didn't
Take
hear
out.
that. I didn't hear that word. What did the market do?
Rebalance inefficiency and
Seek liquidity. Also, or reprice area of liquidity. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. So now I want you guys to look market structure in a different pair and in a different level again. So first of all, you must identify a high. This is a high, right? First of all, and when did we break and close above that high? With this candle, right? This other block became valid. You understand?
yes.
And again, we also have what? Balanced area right here. Remember, those area, they are also like order block or your point of interest. You know that, right? This balanced area.
Yes.
Before this displacement. So a high was taken. You see this candlestick, this one right here, pull back to this area. That means we have a high now, a low. Doesn't matter. A high that was created and a low. And now you have another low. Where is your low? This is your new low. You might not know that because you didn't see any black candle, right? This is your new low. And when price moves higher, we created this high right now. If you go to the weekly time frame, you see that low that I marked out. What do you see right here? If you look at
broke
this
structure.
right here, yeah. If you look at this area right here, what do? We broke that high. Now you see a red candle, right? What did it do? We came back to this inefficiency. Good. So now we have this other block right here. If you also go down to the monthly time frame, remember I drew this area for you, right? This was a high that was broken with this candle. So where was the low? This one. And of course, as soon as we close above this candle highs, meaning we created a new high. That is why this candle rebalanced this area. But you can only see that in the weekly time frame. What is this? In the weekly time frame, we broke above that high, we rebalance this inefficiency, or you can say we come back to this other block. It doesn't matter. It's up to you however you want to use it. Now, this whole area, we have a new low here. Has price retest this low? This one, this other block right here.
Yes.
No, not before now.
Oh, okay.
Before. Has
Oh, no.
price retested this area?
No.
Now, watch. Where was the high that we created? Right here. So, look, if price is failing to go higher, right? It's telling you that this area that we haven't retested is where we are coming now. Two things price will do. It will fail to go higher, we are coming back here, or it will go higher, take the high, we will fail to close above the high. We will weak the high, then you know we are coming down here. But once we close above that high, we have a new area, which will be probably this one right here. But in this case, we fail to close above this high or even weak the high. So we now turn around. This area was still very valid, even if price action was still going what? Higher. What do you see here? We have inefficiency. It's not the first time we came there. We have inefficiency. We came here, 1, 2. Then we also came back again when we created high. What do? We broke above this structure. What do we do? Here, inefficiency and this other block. Again, we created the high. Did we have inefficiency? No. 1, 2, 3 candle was balanced. What did price do? We seek this low, which means we broke the low as well. So what do we have now?
Wait. You said 1, 2, 3 candles are balanced?
They are overlapping. You can see this high and this low. They were overlapping. Even if there was a gap here, right here.
Okay.
But the high of this candle is here and the low of this candle is here. So they were overlapping. And what do we see? This was not enough. We didn't have fair value gap right here. We went to seek what? The low and break and close below the low. This gives you a shift in market structure. So remember, we haven't mitigated this area. Your chance now is to look for opportunity to get in this market down. Where do we have inefficiency? We have inefficiency here. You see, as price was respecting that inefficiency, and of course, you can use this other block or something, but this other block doesn't really matter because when we break, before we break, we tap into the other block, which means now we are going higher above this area. Where? To this inefficiency. And after we came into this inefficiency, you see at this point, what we have what? A break in market structure, confirming you that price wants to start moving down now. Did you see it? Right here. And what did we create? We create inefficiency.
Okay, somebody needs to turn that thingy off. Mic off, please.
We create inefficiency right here. If price was not going to move down, there is no point to create this down inefficiency. We will just come and probably mitigate and just keep going higher. But creating inefficiency is telling you that price wants to be moving to the opposite direction. Right here, that is when we come back down here. So I'm telling you guys, you know, US30 is another opportunity. I'll say I'm going to speak about it. That if you can get in, like the way we did, because we are still holding, this is your area. This is where this market is coming next. The whole objective here has been filled. We are coming for this high. So US30 have a great opportunity. It doesn't matter. It's not going to move straight, right? But they have a great opportunity. So when we mitigate this area, what do we have in the daily time frame? Now,
Wait. Andrew, can you go back to the weekly, please?
What do you want to see?
Okay, so I see what you're saying, and I know you see market structure better than I do. And you're saying that it mitigated the order block on the bottom, the line that, yeah, it mitigated this order block with the
Yes.
black candle, and now it's moving up.
Whether you
So,
mark this one out, it doesn't matter. We still mitigate it. But this is where we haven't mitigated. We've just mitigated right now. Yes?
So for me, if I did not have your class right now, I would consider it pulling back maybe
To this area.
yeah, and then
It's not
continue
going to go
down.
straight. There might be a hindrance in this area. So what is that going to tell you?
But
It's going to
why
tell
don't
you
you see
that
it going
price,
further
we
down?
break a structure, a shift in market structure. Now we now come back to retest that area and continue going higher. We need to see when price mitigates your point of interest. We need to see change in market structure. Have you seen that yet? It haven't happened yet, except in the lower time frame. And I will show you. This is our entry. The two entry. Even this one you see we took what was that on Thursday or something. This market is still valid because the low of this market was here. You can see this whole consecutive candle. That is the reason why we take this trade. Your stop loss will have been here. That is why we never came back to stop you out. So our very first entry was taking out this high. Where was our entry? Right here. First. Second entry was right here. Where is the third entry? I just wait for price to close above this high, right? Because this is the high. Where this price came back to this area from here? And where is the other block? Right here. This whole consecutive candle. That is why your entry is still here. Very, very much valid. And your stop loss was here. We are still going higher. So what I'm trying to explain to you that market will also come back down. If you look at the daily time frame, we haven't broken any structure, right? So which means this structure here, 1, 2, they needs to be broken. As soon as price broke this structure, I don't know how much far we go higher, then you will see a pullback, basically to some things that we will create around this area, you know. Because if we break above that high now, then this high, which means this weekly candle, we will definitely break above this weekly candle, right? So your weekly candle could be the area that we will be looking at, which is this one right here. You see, the last whole consecutive candle before this area. That is why this high needs to be broken. Then you will see a pullback, because basically what this market will do now is that everything here has been balanced. So it's going like this, coming here and to continue.
Okay.
Just we know what is going on, so we get this early entry. That is why once you get early entry, you don't worry about anything. No matter how much pullback this market is going to pull back, it's not coming to stop you out. And where are we going? All the way here. And of course, we might even go more than that. But look at this great opportunity that everyone could take advantage on. Even if you have $100 account, with this trade, that $100 could turn to 1,000 or 2,000 for you, because this is just one opportunity if you don't misuse it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And again,
Yes,
and
I will
again,
be here to
look
not
at
miss
this market. Look at this. This is a daily candle. Thursday, we created what? A balanced area. That's why I told you guys, it's not every time you see it, but what happened? We seek the low. Let me even delete all of this and show you something. I will show you the entry right here. It was on New York. We seek the low of this balanced area. Look at the entry. When did you seek the low? Right here. What happened? New York session. Right here was the entry for you to go long. I mean, we have already entered this market from where? This area. But you see this market pulling back down, you have another choice to get in this market. Here, 1 hour time frame. If you go to the 15 minutes time frame, of course, where is the last down candle? See, 3 consecutive candle. You can now shift your market right here. Did it get you mitigated? Yes, of course. Those time frames are enough for you. You can enter from the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, 15 minutes. It doesn't matter. US30 was my favorite pair to trade before then, and I think I'm going to, because this is one thing I like about, for me, I'm very patient. US30 has been going higher, 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 higher. I don't even want to rush it. I just wanted a pullback, just like I'm waiting for gold, because gold hasn't given that pullback yet. And once you see this kind of pullback, you have no, like, there is no, like, excuse. You have to milk a lot of money out from a pair like this, because you know the next phase where this market is going. From here, it is going this way. This is a great opportunity. How long is it going to take? I don't know. How much longer did it take to get there? We only used 2 months, and let's just say 3 months anyway, because this was the bullish down, and this is still the current month either ways. To get here, 3 months. We have 8 days left to close this candle. So imagine, and these 8 days, we're going to see a break above this high. How do you calculate the pips right here? We have 600 and something pips just to break that high. And you are already in this trade. You are already in this trade. So the next phase now, for you, if you haven't gotten in this trade, you can see a thing like this, a break of this structure. Then where is the last down candles that moved in right here to pull back here? I'm not saying it's going to pull back, because sometimes once this trade, when they take off, they don't even want to pull back anymore, you know. But looking for another opportunity, you can see this area down, down, down. Then if you pull back here, then yeah, you can take your entry as far as this area has been broken. Remember, this is our higher time frame. Where is it? Area, the daily, that markets needs to break. This or this, it doesn't matter. Above. As soon as we break above this area, then this is now a shift in market structure. It's telling you that market wants to keep going higher now. Do you understand?
Yes.
Those lows, these lows, they are just what? Internal. Because these lows, they never did any damages. Did you see them break this high, like especially this low right here? It didn't do anything. So it's just internal. Internal from where? From here. From this area. And even this low I said is just internal. But the high that it created, yes, is strong because it came here, but this area hasn't been filled. So when price created this high right here, for example, let's say we came here and we mitigate, then we break and close above this high, then that is when you will now see this low as a strong low again. But we didn't break above this high, which means this low is just within. As soon as we seek this lower into this area, we are coming to seek this high. That is for sure, which means we are still seeking this high.
So I have another question.
Keep on.
Because regarding the whole fundamentals and stuff, and they keep saying the dollar is supposed.
Yes, listen. Now, what do you understand about fundamental? You know that if the dollar is weakening, that means equities are supposed to be going higher, right?
Yes.
Which is Nasdaq, US 30, S&P 500, all of these are supposed to be going higher. But you see, dollar is weakening. This were also pulling back down, right? It's just for all of this set up. It's your chance now to get in, to go higher.
I'm in now with my $100.
What?
I got my $100 account. 0.01.
You are already in this trade, right?
Yes, I will hold it.
Just
until
add more
I
position.
die.
As soon as you pull back now, you add more position. There is enough opportunity in this market, but all you require is patience.
Maybe this one will be my retirement.
Something like that, who knows? So it's always opportunity in this market, but it just requires patience. And it's not just maybe because of you don't know market structure or you don't know how to trade or something. Sometimes you just need to wait for that opportunity to present itself. You chase so much, that is why your all your analysis will now become paralysis, because you are just chasing price. You wait for price to set up. Of course, I can see. That's why if you look at the market and say, okay, now for your EJ, we broke this structure, we need to pull back here. You are just waiting for opportunity to get in for that pullback, because we already know what this market is going to do. All you require is patience.
Yes. I'm learning my patience now. I'm making friends with it.
This
Okay,
is the
ladies,
weekly
any
time
other
frame.
pair that you guys want to do some structure on? Oh no, Sherry. Is Sherry still here? Anna?
Well, I really just go over the same pairs that he does, but I like gold. Can you go over gold?
We will go to gold right now. So
And then can we do GA too? Because you know I like GA too.
I like GA too, and we traded GA
Well,
as
you know
well.
what? Go over GA. That's fine. Let's go over GA.
Did
Since we're
you
Can we
trade
going
go?
over
GA?
market structure, let's go over GA, and then we can
Oh,
go over
in
gold
fact,
at
Euro
the end. That way,
NZD
we could just
GA, they
analyze
are
it.
trades that we were taking last week, right? I will
Mm-hmm.
go over them because something interesting anyway. So I wrote on the chart like EN and GA. I wanted to trade higher, right? Good. So first of all, let's look at GA, for example. This is a pair that I trade. So this line has already been tapped, and now we have this line, right? So it could be a pullback before we head higher to this line. Anyway, I don't know. But what do you see is going on right here? I have all of this trade right here. So but I can just take these ones out. Boom, boom, boom. This is a thing I want to show you guys. What is this?
Balance
Consolidation, balance
First,
market.
let's first of all identify this one, high and low. What is this? Weekly time frame, right?
Yes.
Which means there is a fair value gap right here, one, and we have balance area. What are we expecting? Expansion for sure, one, or we will do a power of 3 before that expansion will occur, right? What happened? We traded back to the fair value gap. Where are we targeting? This high, right?
Right.
Good. Because this is a very interesting one. So when we took out the low, right here, this is when we took out the low, and daily time frame, either ways. First of all, we took out the low, we came into this fair value gap from the
The
daily time
order.
frame. Yes,
Okay.
from the daily time frame, what do you see inside this area? 1, 2, we have this candle, we took out the low, break above, 1. Again, what do you see again? Also 1, 2, with this candle, your entry. So let's say you missed that one. All of this high now broke and closed above. This could be your entry. I don't know if this market later retests here, but this is another entry that you could have taken to take this market right here all the way to this point. But like our entry is from the very, very bottom. We like to catch the bottom because we understand the message, what the market is.
Wait, Andrew. Go back, please.
Hold on. Here was the time price traded into this market. We took out this trade Monday. Tuesday came. What happened? Asia session took this low, traded higher. You see, number 1 entry, a break of structure again. Number 2 entry.
London.
Wait, can you go over the number 2 entry? Like, why are you marking up that particular candle, the top of that black candle?
Which top? This one?
Well, see, okay, hold on. The reason I'm asking is because it broke. You're saying it broke structure, and then it comes down to do the retest. But in my eyes, it came down and mitigated that fair value gap order block area.
Which fair value gap?
That
This
one
one?
right there. No, the other one. I'm talking about the second entry right there.
This one? This
Because it
one?
came all the way down to that order block. Yeah.
This is it. It doesn't matter whether it came all the way down. These whole candles are your order blocks.
Oh.
All these candles.
Yeah.
These are your order blocks. I've talked about this so many times.
I know you have. It's just my because the way I learned order blocks in the past, it's so different.
I
It's
had to rethink the order block thing
I
too.
know I'm trying to, but I get confused because I'm like, okay,
Now, let's watch when price came in here.
okay, wait. Oh, hold
I
on.
can mark out this body. You see price mitigated this body. I can also mark out just this body right here.
Okay.
So, but okay, so I already forgot to ask the other question I wanted to ask you.
What is it?
Because I forgot. Go back to I think it was the daily.
It was the daily. Right here. Right here.
Mm,
What did you wanted to ask?
I'm trying to remember. No, I think it was the 4 hour.
First of all, the weekly. We have the low and high. We seek the low into the fair value gap. Now we know we were coming to seek the high. What happened? You see, we seek this high, we fail to close above that high, right? Now, in fact, in a bigger picture, this was the last time price moved away from this low or to this high, right?
Mm-hmm.
We broke this structure already. So it's left for price to start pulling back down. Where is price going to pull back to?
Um.
It
The
can
fair
pull back. Sorry.
the fair value gap right there.
This one.
Yes, that one.
Yes.
I mean,
Or
all of the POIs are inside the fair value gap as well.
yes, or that order block. If you the last black down candle.
Candle.
No, not
Yes,
that one.
it's
The
also
one.
good. Why?
Oh, no,
Because
I did not mean that one though.
which
Go
one? This
back.
one?
No, the one on top.
This one?
Because no, because you talk.
This one
That's
right
right.
here.
Yes.
Good.
Or no?
It's not about no, yes, but
Okay.
one thing now I want to show you that I have been trading GA, right? Long enough. You are correct. You are very, very correct as well, But I've been trading GA long. I know how GA move and which point of interest is likely to retest. That is why I identified this weekly area. And of course, I can use these two as well, these two up candle. This
So
one
when
like
do you
this.
make the difference which one to use which one?
Because I understand GA, right? So
Okay.
I know how GA has been moving. So I know where to mark out on GA. I
Okay.
already identified two levels, this down candle and this area. So the reason why I mark this area, right? This area. So now we have a low, a high. We broke this low. Now price retests this area. It came down. It failed to create a new low. Now it created a high, which means by failing, that means that area could be area that we are going to tag and continue going higher.
So this one is now is this one of these what
Breaker,
rejection block or something?
breaker and mitigation
Breaker
block.
Breaker
block.
block. Yeah, breaker block.
Exactly.
So which one is the breaker
Or
block? Can you
or you know what? It could be a violated order block.
It's another block that was violated. So
Yeah.
these
yeah,
two
okay.
candlesticks are other blocks as well, right?
Yeah.
These two green one. So that is why I'm telling you that it could be this low, it could be this one. But I tell you that for me, once price crosses here, this line, I know what I'm looking for. But now the whole thing is that those one is to identify where price may likely come to, right? But the thing is like we are looking to sell price back down. But how do you know it's time to sell it back down? Because of this candle. What is this? Expansion was supposed to be created, which means this price was supposed to close above this high. What did it do? It failed. We get an entry, we take profit here. What happened? We failed to close above this high. Now, you see what I'm trying to explain to you guys. What is this?
Inside bar. Balance market.
So, what are you expecting after a candle like this is being created?
Expansion.
Right. To
Or
where? To the downside or to the upside? You don't know
first to
this.
the upside and then down because we want to
If
go
we
to
want to see a manipulation, then we will see a manipulation to the upside, then expansion to the downside, right?
yeah.
But now you already know where you are targeting, right? Where? All the way here or here. So why is this daily candle so interesting? This one right here, this down one, because I prefer this down one, even if I marked out this one. Why is so interesting? Because this is the candlestick that created the failure swing. That is why these two levels are inside that area. When we mitigated this other block before, so this was the candlestick that was supposed to be a bearish order
Lower
block if we would
yeah.
have created a low. You understand?
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
failed to create a low, so that candle now become a mitigation block before this whole high was created. Do you understand now?
So the
That is why,
mitigation block is the one with the small doji can, the green one. Yeah, that one.
exactly,
Uh-huh.
yes, that is why I prefer this blue line
And
to
that's
be
on
my
the
point
body
of
of that
interest.
candle. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
because it is the candlestick that was supposed to be another block, but it failed to
Yeah.
create a new low for that candlestick, for this other block to be valid. So now it's a what? A failure swing. So I already know where GA is coming, which is this blue line right here. Where are we getting our entry from? This very top. Market is going to open soon. You will
That's
see.
going to be a really good sell then.
Girl,
I already
GA is
calculated. I told you
generous.
guys there is
I
always
want
opportunity in
to
this
catch
market.
this one.
This is 600 pips.
Damn.
Always opportunity in this market. You just have to be patient. These lines, I drew them out long ago. These two lines. You see how price is respecting them.
So that line
After
that you
this
drew
one
right
now,
there,
I
what
already
time
know
frame
our
did you
next
put it
phase. Once
in?
we get here, the next phase is this area.
Hold on, what time frame did you mark that one up on?
What?
That line right there, where it's rejecting.
It
The
doesn't
green
matter the
line.
time frame. It's when I took those entries back to back, like this. For example, you can see for this level, we have this area 0, 27, 618. And for this level, the last one, which is right here to this one, yes, is this last one, the negative 27 and the 618. So which means price has broken this structure right now. So pulling back into this area, we now seek negative 27 and 618, I mean to say. Then we will now see a pullback to probably, the area we created somewhere here.
GA.
It could be this.
Dang, we gotta catch this sell.
This candle is telling you that sell is about to occur right now. And I already told you guys, it could be a straight down selling or a manipulation first before that sell will occur. But there is always what? A setup. You guys already know what we are looking for before we get into the trade.
All right.
You understand?
Yes.
So back here, this is another opportunity. We have US30, we have this. If the JPY like the GJ and EJ, we know they are also pulling back. It's a lot of, in fact, this week is going to bring a lot of opportunity for traders. If this market pull back, and again, I'm looking at GA, right? I don't know, because we have how many days left? 8 days? Let me see.
For the month to end?
Yes.
Yeah.
So remember, you guys shouldn't focus on we are selling right now, right? Because this candlestick is telling you story. We have a fair value gap right here, a high and a low of this inside bar, which means we can also manipulate on the downside for continuation to the upside, right? If this month closes like this, then for sure that selling is coming even more pips. It's not going to be 600 pips again. It's going to be almost 1,000 pips or 800 pips.
God dang.
You have to watch out for this. We haven't closed above here. Yes, fine. But this is just creating opportunity for you. The opportunity that is creating for you, we have a balanced market inside bar. We need expansion, but it could be to the downside or to the upside. But looking at this current structure, price is making a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then before this balanced market, I'm giving you guys this opportunity that if this price seek this low first, then you have to look for buying opportunity around this area. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Which means we might be seeking more highs because it needed price to close bullish. So
For
if
what? For the month or?
for the month, that's why I say GA and EN needs to go higher. Yes. So we will look for sell for sure on this pair, but it has to be the right time. I know I trade GA, right? For me, I still want price to probably use this to continue higher. Then month end, then we will be seeing a pullback for that setup to where? To this level, because this is the level we are selling this price to. This is area you will pay attention to for the buying opportunity to continue higher. But if we are going to sell, we will be seeing opportunity above this area to shut this market down or straight. That's why I told you guys this candlestick is giving two things. One, straight expansion or a fake out to expand is going to happen. It could just keep straight expansion. But if I go to the what is it called? The 4 hour, you are not seeing so much. Even this high hasn't been closed above. If we close above, we can say okay here, right here. But yes, so you are not seeing so much. It could be something like this. Price returns this area and continue going higher.
In fact, I feel like it would do that because GA likes to run for miles first before it turn around.
So you guys have any question?
Not yet. I think I'm tracking her right pretty good, so
Your market structure, right?
yes.
You always want to see price break and close above either a candle or a swing. That is when your point of interest within that swing leg is valid.
Okay.
If we only run liquidity, that means either we are coming back to rebalance inefficiency that we created, or we want to change phase, started a new trend or something. So which means probably that point of interest is not going to be valid, it's not going to hold price because we didn't close above that area. We only swept the liquidity. If you look at what is it called, this GA, for example, if this is a high, this is a low, and when did you break above that high? If it's this one or something, then that will be your high in a bigger picture. Let me see, is this thing like this? When did we break above this high? You see, this area now, we swept the liquidity, what, just for a pullback or internal. Because this market is bullish, we need to be respecting all of this pricing, but we have been respecting and balancing this area. So this is when we broke above this area, and this was the next area that we haven't rebalanced, and now we moved higher. So remember, in this kind of what is it called, market structure, right? If price is selling, right, let's just say price is selling, price can sell all the way here, all the way here. Do you know why?
Because of the lows? Well, actually, yes,
It's
because of
still it's still
the
bullish. Yeah.
external
Exactly.
external
This is the external structure.
Mm-hmm.
external structure. Yes, that's what I was gonna
So
say.
every other thing inside here,
Is internal.
Internal
they are
liquid.
internal, and all those low, these buyers that has been buying this market, their stop losses are still here. So
Yep.
you see the way GJ did, you can see that kind of huge run. And what normally causes something like this is when we have fundamental, like, maybe a policy change, something like this, you will see a drastic move. And I'm not going to be surprised if that something like this happen within this year.
Mm.
But for now, we
Imagine
are
holding it till there.
that's crazy.
Ugh.
It's going to be like almost 2,000 pips, because this is the
Dang.
lows that we might come to run. Then we're into this fair value gap. You see, this fair value gap has not been mitigated.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be something like this, but we don't know when it's going to happen. It's going to be almost 2,000, because if we move higher either ways, let's say like this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So the only thing that we now confirm this thing is that we have a point of interest right here. So imagine price run through this point of interest and start to break these lows. That means we are looking for price to come down. That means we will have a pullback. Then at this point, you can decide to hold it down, because price have shown you that we are coming down now. But once this internal hasn't been broken, then we have up chances. This is the external structure. This low, this high. Every other thing right here, it doesn't matter. We are still creating that external. But once we start to take this internal lows, then market is coming to the last point of interest that we have not been mitigated. Especially in this case, we have this inefficiency that we have not what? Rebalanced.
Yeah.
You see?
So mitigated and rebalanced, that's all the same? That's all the same, or no?
So mitigated is like when price came into something.
Mm-hmm.
Price haven't come here. But rebalance is basically this inefficiency, the gap.
Mm-hmm.
Price needs to come back in there,
And
because
close it
there are still
completely?
orders. It was because of orders that this kind of displacement occur. So
Yes.
because there are still a lot of money that are still sitting here.
Yes, but when you say when it's rebalancing, that means it's
It's
closing
coming
the
back to that
imbalance
area.
completely?
No, it don't
It
have to
does not
come there.
have to.
It doesn't have to balance it completely. No,
Mm.
it's just coming back there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's just coming back there.
Okay. All right. Yes, can you move it down just a little bit, please? Yes, thank you. Because I want to take a screenshot.
So it's the area that we will look for later on for price
Can
to
you
come.
post that chart right there? The one you're marking up right now? Like on the weekly or whatever.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now can we look at gold too, please?
We can look at gold before we go.
I mean, Sherry is gone, so I guess, yeah. And EJ is similar to GJ. What else are you trading, Anna?
Um, I just really just go along with what GJ and GA, and really gold is my main one. I try to just stick to gold.
Yeah, me and gold are
The
not friends.
the what?
I said gold is not my best friend, even though I'm trying to be friends with gold.
She's a little hoe.
Ugh,
She is. She's a
she's
little
so
bee.
tempting, but it's
I
just
know.
like, what the hell? When can I get in? And like sometimes it looks like, oh yeah, I got a good entry, but then it's like, bitch.
Yeah,
And
me
she
too.
just
I'm like
turns
you.
around on me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know what? I was saying, this week I'm trying to, implement more, like trying focusing more on like market structure, the way we are talking about it and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, I have my quarter levels marked up on the FX.com, and then I use also the Oanda chart.
Mm-hmm.
And on that one, I don't have quarter levels. That one I just use like what we're going over with, with Andrew. But this past week, gold did me good. Last week, oh my God, she pissed me off. But this week, I did good on gold.
That's good.
Yeah, I was telling Cherry, I'm like, all these years that I've been trying to like trade and stuff. Like, there's weeks, like a few weeks ago, I turned a $20 account to almost $700.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. And
Nice.
then the week after that, I did like $25 and it was like $400. Like, I can do it, but
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes, like last week, I got greedy and I didn't set a stop loss. I didn't set a TP, and I was like, no, it's gonna continue, and it took
Yeah,
my whole account.
that's
And
what.
that's what I'm trying to do. Like this week, this past week, that's what I worked on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna set a TP, and this is where I'm gonna take my profit and then be done with that particular trade. And then I'll look for another entry. And that's what I did. And I'm I had $6 in my account, and I'm at like $70 now.
All right.
So I
So you grew
mean,
your account?
last week I did,
How much?
because I was being greedy. $300
It's okay. It's all
Down
right.
to six?
to six. Yeah, $6. I
Girl, I
had six
did the
dollars in my
same
account.
crap. I did the same thing. My account is at 85 cents.
Yeah.
So on gold, let's look at gold.
I need to refund it though, because I just want to take one position and hold it for a minute.
So gold, I'm still looking for gold to come back to this area, right?
The
I'm still
monthly.
looking for
Hold on.
gold.
I want to go back. I want to mark these up on the way you have them marked up, so I can,
I'm
you
still looking
know.
for gold to come back to this area, but this is the monthly time frame, so it's still long. And we have this some form of balanced indecisive candle. You can see this candle right here was inside bar, but what do we see? We didn't take the low, we just what expand. It could
Mm-hmm.
happen. It's not every time we have to take the low or something, we just expand.
Yeah.
So, and this is for this, we also have something like this, then we expand. So this is basically bullish structure: high, low, higher, low, higher, high. So now we are still bullish on gold, like we know. And in the
Mm-hmm.
weekly time frame, what do we have? For sure, this is going to be a new area, which means if price move down here, we expect a move away, just like we did
Yep.
last week. We moved into this area and we moved away for a newer highs.
Okay.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
this is basically what is going on right here. We did catch this thing some time ago, but we didn't allow it to move all the way high like this. because for me gold is just all-time high, so I don't want to be, once I take the same level I'm good, because you never know when gold is going to like turn around and go down
Jump.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, that is one thing I don't want to get caught on gold. So we know we have levels right here that are marked out.